guys, welcome to ASMR Retro's Metallica Monday. It's a new series where I'm gonna do Metallica related content, not every Monday, but here and there. And for the first Metallica Monday, I'm gonna do kind of a fan reaction slash commentary type thing for their self-titled album, better known as the Black Album, which was released in 1991. So I hope you enjoyed. I'm not going to actually play the actual music for obvious reasons, but if you want to listen along, if you have the album, I'll count down from 3 and then say play, and that's when I'm going to press play. So you can listen along if you wish. So I hope you enjoy it, and let's get started. 3, 2, 1, play. Alright, so here we go. The first song on the album, which I think is definitely their most popular song, most well-known song, I would say, is Enter the Sandman, and it is 531 in length, and it is written by James Hetfield, Lars Ulrich, I don't know how you say it, but some people say Ulrich, some people say Ulrich, doesn't matter, and Kirk Hammett. So, and I think Kirk Hammett, from what I heard, wrote like the main riff or whatever, so I'm pretty sure he could retire just on the royalties from contributing to this song. But yeah, classic heavy metal song, and I think that this is the first Metallica song that I've ever heard, and this is what got me into not just Metallica but into metal. I remember it was like the last day of school before either Christmas holidays or the summer holidays, so the teachers just let us bring in music and listen to it or whatever. It's kind of right off of a day, and my friend brought this in, and I was like, whoa, it just hit me right away. I was like, what? Like, where has this been all my life, because at that point I didn't really I wouldn't say I didn't care about music, but it just was like, okay, whatever. But this kind of, I'd say, gave me an identity, but it kind of did in a way. But yeah, this started the journey for me. Then it got into various other bands like Megadeth, and then Sepultura, Death, just all kinds of tons of bands. But yeah, so classic song. This is also when this album is when Metallica significantly changed their sound. Some people say I'm more radio friendly and blah blah blah, which is not wrong, but it's still an awesome album, I must say. By the way, I have a little glass of Sprite here with ice, so if you hear some fizzing and sipping and whatnot, that's what it is. So I'm gonna take a sip now. Yeah, so this is a new concept for me. I don't know if I'm gonna know what to say for the entire album, because it's quite long. Long time to talk about music that you're hearing. Alright, here we go with the solo, the first solo of the album. And I've heard a lot of people saying that this solo's terrible, but honestly I like the solo. I don't see what's terrible about it. It fits the energy of the song. It's quite entertaining, gets you pumped up, so I don't know, I like it. Maybe not the most technical type of sweet picked arpeggios type stuff, but it's good. I like it. And yeah, good solo, I would say. It did its job. So now you got this little not slower part, but it calms down a little bit, and then they say the prayer, whatever that prayer is called, before you go to bed, which of course I think Megadeth also used that in Countdown to Extinction, which I don't know which one came out first, but anyways, doesn't matter. Noise you heard, it's just a beast under your... Okay, I won't sing, don't worry, I won't ruin it for you. I'll let you listen to the song if you want to hear it. And yeah, I gotta say, the video of this song though isn't, I don't like the video. It's not bad, but it's just, I'd rather listen to the song than watch the video. feels kind of, what do you call that thing? Very stroby, like you get that seizure effect or whatever. Not that I have a seizure when I watch it, but I don't know, it just gives me a headache or something. And here's the part in the video where the truck hits the bed or where it's like, bow. But anyway, yeah, good song, classic song. Not much else to say about the song. And then we kind of get to the wind down period of the song. And the songs are, on this album, are generally shorter than Metallica's typical songs. So that's another reason why people are like, oh, they sold out or whatever. Which again, I'm not saying there's no truth to that, but they're still pretty long. Like, this song's 5:31. It's not exactly radio friendly, like, aren't like radio songs supposed to be like 3 to 4 minutes or something like that, but anyway. Okay, so now we just fade out, fade to black, so to speak. And then that is it for the first track. Very good opening track. I mean, I've heard that song so many times that it's lost all meaning kind of thing, but I can still enjoy it for what it is. Alright, so now we start sad but truth. Sad but true. It is 5 minutes and 24 seconds, so slightly shorter than Enter Sandman. And it is written by James Hetfield and Lars Ulrich. And this is more of a slow, chunky song. I think this was the first time Metallica down-tuned their guitars. And from what I've heard, you can actually hear the demo of this album, and the song is not down-tuned. And in general, like, I think most of the songs are faster, especially this one. So I don't know if it was Bob Rock, what's his name, Bob Rock, yeah, right, the producer, suggested to slow it down or whatever, or down-tune, but it's a cool, nice, chunky head-banging song. But it's kind of boring, I must admit, too. Especially compared to the high energy of Enter Sandman, this one's just kind of like, eh. Especially after hearing it a million times, but there's some cool licks and solos here and there, spattered throughout. So, still fun to listen to, but gotta be in the right mood, I guess. Well, I do anyway, so I'll speak for myself. Pretty cool chorus, like whatever effect they're using in the background. I mean, it's like layered guitars or whatever, but some effect on it for sure. It's pretty cool. And so I'll take the time now to talk about a little bit more facts about the album. So it was released August 12th from 1991. And by the way, this information I got from Wikipedia, so don't hold me to it. It was recorded October 6, 1990. Between October 6, 1990 to June 16, 1991. So it's a pretty long recording period. Recorded at the One on One studio in Los Angeles. It is 62 minutes and 40 seconds, so just over an hour. And it is under the Elektra label. And it was produced by James Hetfield, Bob Rock, and Lars Ulrich. Just take another sip. Yeah, so pretty good. Nice, chunky, headbanging song, like I said. Okay, now we get this cool part here. I guess a breakdown or a bridge, or I don't know. I don't know music terminology that well. My music terminology consists of, dude, that was an awesome part, dude. Bruh, this part's awesome, bruh. So yeah, don't expect too much from me, but. And then we get this little pause, and then this cool solo. It's very, I don't know, I would say groovy. I don't know if that's the right word. It's got some groove to it, I guess. I don't know. Just cool. Goes well with the rhythm, that's for sure. In general, I think Kirk's solos are really good in this album. They're memorable. Some people disagree, and that's fine, but I do think, I don't know, they're more creative in this album. Maybe not, I'm not saying it's his best solos are in this album, but maybe they are, I don't know. I'd have to do a comparison, but a lot of the solos in Justice and Justice for All are very good too. This part's cool too. This little thingy here he does. And if you listen to the demos of this album, it's funny because I guess they didn't have all the lyrics yet, but you can, James is just filling in the lyrics with like random words, and instead of using words like just saying do, like, just making up, instead of you were using words doing do's or whatever, you know what I mean, I think. But it's kind of funny to hear. It's also pretty amazing how much an album changes from a demo to the finished, polished product. It's pretty incredible. Sometimes you hear a demo song and it's like, this is crap. But then when you hear the final version, it's like, whoa, that's awesome. So, I don't know. It's amazing stuff. I have a lot of respect for producers and music engineers, or whatever you call them. My ice cubes smell funny. Anyways, that's a separate topic. So there you go. There is sad, but true. Indeed. Alright, now we have Holier Than Thou. Holier Than Thor. Holier Than Thou. I'm just making up funny stuff to, make it a little bit more entertaining. And it is 3 minutes and 47 seconds. Written by James Hetfield and Lars Ulrich. Lars seems to have a writing credit for every single song. I actually saw a video about that. I can't remember who it was. But anyways, talking about how Lars has a writing credit on pretty much every song. Can't remember what the what his conclusion about that was, but anyway, it's a pretty cool song. Nice opening riffs there. Good, what's it called? Good vocals, and that's the thing. I can't remember if I said it right, but one thing that really sells this album for me is James's vocals. I think it's his best vocal work. After this, they went on tour for I think Metallica toured for for this album. I think it was. Hold on, let me check my notes here. 1 second. Okay, flipping through my note papers here. Metallica album, Black Album tour length was 375 million years. So, but yeah, on that tour, James really seems to have destroyed his vocals, and then after that he wasn't really able to, actually no, his vocals are pretty good on Load and Reload, but eventually anyways it caught up with him, and he just doesn't seem to be able to do what he could do before. Yeah, but that's what happens, man. He sacrificed his vocal cords for our sins. But yeah, this album was his peak, I think, in my opinion. That's why I was so shocked, because this was my first. Once I heard this album, I went to go buy it, my own copy, and then I listened to it like a billion times, and then eventually I bought Kill 'Em All. And I was kind of shocked at how different his vocals were, and even my friends who liked Metallica, but they never heard their first album, and I played some of those songs, and they were kind of shocked it was Metallica. I'm not saying it was bad, but it was just very different. It's a great album, Kill 'Em All, for sure. And here we go. Cool solo coming up. Very entertaining, very energetic. Just wants you to, makes you want to just jump right into the mosh pit. Nah, I've never been really a mosh pit guy. Never really got it. I haven't been to that many concerts, but usually I just want to chill and enjoy the performance rather than jump around and, go home with a few missing teeth. of course, on this album, you could actually hear Jason Newsted's bass. Actually, he's only credited on one song for a writing credit, but anyways. Yeah, because the story is that on the And Justice for All, it's like no bass. They turned the Space Down solo, kind of as a, I wouldn't say tribute, but like somewhat hazing him, but somewhat, as out of respect for Cliff Burton, who just died, I don't know, a year or two before. Alright, so now we have the Unforgiven. It is 6 minutes and 27 seconds. It's a long one. And it's written by James Hetfield, Lars Ulrich, and Kirk Hammett. Kirk Hammett. I forgot to make a funny name. I don't know. The Unforsaken. I don't know. But, yeah. A nice, slowish song. I mean, it's slow, but it gets heavy. But, it starts off with the acoustic parts. Pretty good video, too. I would say this is a good... It's rare that I see a video that I think makes the song better. I think this is one of them. Maybe not better, but it makes it enjoyable in a different way than if you just listen to the song. So this video was pretty good, but... And then, of course, they kept making, Unforgiven 2, Unforgiven 3. I think they're up to part 17 now. And it's a little bit too much, but, whatever. I mean, in one way, that's just like cheap. Not cheap, but a way to, bank off the success of the past kind of thing. But in another way, like, why can't you do that? That's like, they make sequels to movies. Why not? Why not songs, right? I don't have too much of a problem with it, but I don't know if I like the part 2 and 3. They're not bad, but I don't think they're as good as the original, so, which is usually the thing with sequels. And I remember Dave Mustaine saying in an interview that he was talking to Lars, after this album came out, and Lars wanted to know Dave's opinion on the album, and Dave was like, well, I really like the Unforgiven. He's like, I think the best song is the Unforgiven. And he was like, Lars was like, thanks, man, blah, blah, blah. But Dave didn't mean it as a compliment. He just thought that was the only good song on the album. But anyways, I mean, when he said this, Dave was still a troubled individual, I guess we can say. And maybe he still does, I don't know. I know he's gone through changes, but anyways, just a funny, such a Dave thing to do and say. Kind of a depressing song too, but, well, definitely a depressing song, and a depressing video, especially because, he's talking about the old man, blah, 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 and now they're the old men, but whatever. When I was younger, I used to like depressing songs. I used to like, I guess I was kind of emo before it was a thing. Not really emo, like, it wasn't really an identity kind of thing, but I don't know. I used to be like a brooding, what's the word? Angsty teenager, I guess. So the depressing songs they didn't make me feel depressed. They made me feel something, though, that I liked, whatever that was. And now I don't like hearing depressing songs so much anymore. Not that this is like super depressing, but there's still like a lot of good things about the song, and it's, it's beautiful in its own way, but I don't know. I just rather feel happy than depressed these days, you know what I mean? I think everybody can relate to that, maybe. Here's another pretty decent solo. If you watch the making of the album, I'm pretty sure it shows Kirk trying to come up with this solo, and it was just like terrible. I mean, wow, the fact that they turned, you went from that to this finished solo is quite good, quite impressive. Okay. I started listening to Metallica, a lot of people made fun of me for listening to Metallica for whatever reason. Because, when a band gets popular, like, everybody hates them for some reason. So, a lot of my friends will make fun of me, even my family. Not my parents, but, like, my siblings would kind of take jabs at me and my cousin and stuff like that. But then, like, years later, and I used to be kind of embarrassed about that too. I feel bad about this, but not bad. I regret the fact that I didn't stand up for myself more. And then I guess I haven't forgiven myself. No, I'm kidding. But sometimes when people would come over, I'd hide my Metallica albums because I knew they would crap on me for it. But it turned out it turned out I guess differently, because a lot of these same people years later asked me to borrow all my Metallica albums, and I should have told them to buzz off, but I let them borrow it. Anything I can do to spread the good word of heavy metal, gotta do it. Gotta be a good ambassador, gotta be a heavy metal prophet, you know what I mean? So that was the Unforgiven. It's a slow fade out happening right now. And then next up is a classic, and so far the longest song on the album that we've heard. Wait for the gong to happen. And where is it? There we go. It is Wherever I May Roam. Wherever I May Roam. It is 6 minutes and 44 seconds. Written by James Hetfield and Lars Ulrich. Ulrich. That could be a good trigger word. But yeah, it starts off with that slow kind of, I don't know what you call that instrument, but, and then it just kicks in, boom, super heavy, and then it's got that, like, I don't know if that's like a bass thing, it's like, dong, or some other instrument they're using, but it's just like got that heavy hit sound. And then it kicks in. So good, so good. And of course this song, is clearly about being on the road and traveling and blah blah blah. Pretty good lyrics too, I got to see. And it slows down a little bit here. Got some clean guitar in the background. Really cool stuff. And the road becomes my bride. That's how you start a song, my friends. So again, it's kind of slow, but then it kicks in and goes slow and kicks in. And from what I remember, some pretty cool solos and stuff like that. So just a great traveling song if you're traveling on a plane or something like that, or on a long bus ride or whatever. This song's gotta be on your traveling playlist, right? Call me what you will. And yeah, I gotta say, when I was a teenager, I never heard some of these words before, like nomad. What does that mean? You're not mad. Okay, that's good, bro. Vagabond, I never heard that word. Or I probably heard it, but I didn't know what it meant. I wasn't the brightest kid, vocabulary-wise or NU-wise, but I was smart enough to be a heavy metal fan, right? So yeah, what do you guys think? While this song is playing, while this album is playing, what do you guys think of this album? Share any thoughts, stories, memories? Is this, do you consider them being solid for this album? Do you consider this, part of obviously it's part of their first 5 albums, but is this, considered to be classic Metallica or not? I mean, obviously this was sort of you know what, I still consider this classic Metallica. Load and Reload was very, very different. And to me, that's when things changed. I'm not saying they're bad albums, but just didn't feel like Metallica. But there's some really good stuff on those 2 albums, but a lot of filler in my opinion. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. If you like those albums, it's fine. And I've said this before, and some people, you know, I don't know. Well, I guess they didn't agree with me, which is fine. But I think Metallica does have, on some albums, quite a few albums, they have filler. You know, maybe songs repeat their verse and chorus like too many times. To make, you know, you don't need a 10-minute song if you're just repeating yourself a lot, but I don't know, that's just my opinion. But, yeah, I love their first 5 albums, no doubt about that. Can't complain too much. Anywhere where I lay my head is home. It's cool solo here, lots of wah pedal. Master of wah, Kirk Hammett. Some people say that wah pedal covers, you know, your mistakes or whatever, but I don't know. I can neither confirm nor deny. I don't mind it, but not for every song. Alright, so the song continues to roam on. Anywhere around. And yeah, just really good production. Some would say overproduced, but I think it sounds great. You know, the drums sound good despite what people say about Lars's drumming abilities. Yeah, he's not the best drummer, but the drums sound good at least. It doesn't sound like a garbage can, you know, like another album that I won't mention at the moment. No, I do like that album. I do like Saint Anger to a certain degree. At least the first like 4 or 5 songs are pretty good. Gets kind of boring later on in my opinion, but yeah, the snare sound is a bit out there for me. And then we get another fade out during the solo, the closing solo. And so that was basically Wherever I May Roam. Pretty good stuff. One of my favorites on the album. Okay, and that was track number 5. I used to have this on cassette tape too. You may not know what that is, but anyways. And I remember, so the next song, Don't Tread on Me. Don't Tread on Meat. Is track number 6, and that was the last one on side A. But anyway. And anyways, Don't Tread on Me is a 4-minute song, exactly. And it is written by James Hetfield and, of course, Lars Ulrich. See, the riffs are pretty simplistic on in this album, but very catchy, very catchy. So it just sound great. Can't help but headbang, and I'm headbanging right now. But so if you hear my voice, you know, not coming through clearly, that's what's happening. No, I'm kidding. I'm not headbanging. I am a little bit. I'm popping. I'll say I'm popping. Head popping. So yeah, this is one of the shorter songs. The second shortest song on the album at 4 minutes. Let's see, what else can I say about this album? I love this part, the chorus, or the chorus. The secure bass is to prepare for war. I love that riff. Dun dun dun. I don't know, I can't do it with my mouth, but such a cool riff. Dun, 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 dun. didn't record any videos. I had a bit of a mishap in my condo, so I had to get insurance involved and everything. Problem with my heater, and I may have to relocate temporarily. So I had a kind of a rough week last week. But I'm trying to catch up, and I have some interesting, entertaining things coming down the pipe, whatever. I've got a decent solo, not my favorite one, but it's alright. See, if I compare the solos on this album to Hardwired, man, I don't know what happened to Kirk Hammett on that album. Like, again, if you like his solos on that album, that's fine, but to me, it just seems like he wasn't trying at all. It seemed like he used like a random Kirk Hammett solo generator online or something like that. Like, he just wasn't trying. It just didn't seem like he cared, but again, who knows? To secure pieces, to prepare for war. Yeah, I think this was actually, it was in 2021 was the 30-year anniversary of this album. I should have done this video on that day or whatever, but August 12th of 2021, but whatever. Better late than never. Can't believe 30 years ago. Amazing. Time really flies by. And, I'm all about the retro, but I'll get to that point in a second, because now the next track number 7, Through the Never, the length is 4:04, written by James Hetfield, James Chesterfield, Lars Ulrich, and Kirk Hammett, I don't know. And it's one of my favorite songs on the album too. It's such a basic riff, but it just sounds so cool. You know what I mean? And I think it's a song that has probably my favorite solo on the album, and one of my favorite Kirk Hammett solos, and it's no wah pedal. So it's quite refreshing in that sense. Pretty cool rhythm. Guitars during the first two. I could have sworn I remember hearing this song on a video game commercial back in the day. I remember hearing the solo. Well, I had a bit of a glitch in my audio, my MP3 or whatever. That's weird. But anyways, it was probably my CD was scratched a bit when I ripped it. Yes, I have that on CD. I also had it on cassette, like I said. But anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah, there was a commercial for a game, either a Genesis game or a PlayStation game or something, right? Because when I heard the solo of this song in the commercial, but I could be wrong. I'm gonna look that up after on YouTube. I'm curious to see if that's true. Alright, I'm gonna take a sip of my Sprite. Actually, I can't, wait, is this a solo part? Yeah, here it comes. Oh yeah, that's so good. I love that for some reason. Come on guys, that's a good solo, you have to admit. Again, not necessarily about the complexity, just how cool it sounds. It just works, It just works well, especially the way it started. Okay, now we just get into not basic, but typical Kirk Hammett near the end of the solo, but the beginning was very refreshing and different, you know what I mean, for Kirk Hammett. It's nice to hear different things here and there. Then you get this great riff. It's like, all through the never. So it's good stuff. I'm not sure if I've ever heard Metallica play this song live or seen them play it live, like on YouTube or whatever. I mean, again, I'm sure I could just look it up in 5 seconds and see it, but I'd like to see Kirk do that solo live. See how he does it. Yeah, but I remember seeing there was Woodstock '94. It was like a 3 or 4 day event or whatever it was, and I remember hearing Metallica was going to be there because they were showing like commercials and stuff like that. I was like, what? No way. Because again, back then I didn't realize how big Metallica was. I'm like, holy crap, Metallica's actually going to be at this thing. And oh, okay, here's Nothing Else Flatters. I don't know, Nothing Else Matters. 628 by James Hetfield and Lars Ulrich. And yeah, this song's very boring, I'm sorry, but again, it's one of those super slow, depressing songs, and again, it's not a bad song, but it just drags on too much, and for some reason, radio stations really like to play the song. It's like, coming up next, we're gonna play Metallica. I'm like, oh, cool. And then like, Nothing Else Matters. I'm like, oh man, this is not what I want to listen to when I'm driving, you know what I mean? But anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah, Woodstock '94, and I was like, oh cool, Metallica's gonna be there, and like, I think they were basically where they did headline or whatever, like they went on last or something, or at least on one of the days. But me being ignorant and didn't know anything about this stuff, I was like, oh, I wonder what song they're gonna play, or 1 or 2 songs they're gonna play. I didn't realize they were gonna do a whole set, because there's so many bands there. I didn't know. I mean, that makes no sense that they would only play 1 or 2 songs. I didn't know anything about this stuff at the time. But yeah, I remember watching it on pay-per-view, and I was blown away, and I taped it, and I've watched it a million times. It's good stuff. Even though, James had a mullet, but not just that, like, his vocals weren't, I guess by that point his vocals were already failing him, or maybe he was just trying to save his vocals, but he wasn't like, he didn't have that gritty, grainy voice kind of thing. But man, if you look up some videos on YouTube of like Injustice for All tour or early like Black Album tour, and man, he's just shredding out of his vocal cords, and it sounds so cool. But yeah, pretty good live band, fun band to watch live, put it that way. So yeah, the song's just mostly clean, clean chords and whatnot with drums, and it just kind of drags on. Again, when I was younger, this kind of thing was right up my alley because I like the more depressing stuff sometimes, but now it's just like, oh, it kind of drones on for me. But again, if you like it, that's cool. Actually, I watched, what movie was it? With The Rock, Disney's Jungle Cruise or something like that. And I was kind of shocked that in the beginning they used this song, like right as soon as the movie starts. Now, I can't remember if it was this version or a remix or a cover or whatever, but it was definitely this song. So I was kind of surprised about that. Probably made some nice scratch off of that. The cool thing about this song is that James does a solo. I think that's his only solo on the album. I'm not sure, but so that's kind of cool. And you get like nice little parts like this with the I guess it's clean. I don't know, might be some acoustic in the background there too. I don't know, it's hard to tell. But there's nice parts here and there. But do I really need 6 minutes and 28 seconds? Which, by the way, oh no, it's not. It's one of the longest songs on the album anyway. We'll get to the longest song soon. Well, not soon, but eventually. Yeah, so far the longest song was, let's see, 6:44, or Remy Roll. And the shortest was Don't Tread on Me at 4 minutes. And I find in you. It also has some nice strings or like violins or whatever you call that in the background. So that's pretty cool. You know, getting a bit symphonic up in here. Oh yeah, I think they do use acoustic in the song too, because was that this song? Oh no, maybe that was Unforgiven. Yeah, it was probably Unforgiven. Used to, when you see him do it live, he has the double guitar like one, so you know, the acoustic and the electric double thingy, whatever you call it. You know what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, here we go. It's the only good part. It's the solo. I mean, it's not an amazing solo, but it's got, you know, it's got feeling, it's got heart. When I say not amazing, I meant like it's not like super complicated, but again, it's got heart and soul. That's what matters the most, I guess. And then it kind of fades and sort of calms down. Let me go back to that intro part. Again, I don't, maybe I give the wrong impression that it's not a good song. It is a good song, but I don't know. Gotta be in the right mood for sure. And I'm not sure what mood that is, but alright, don't worry folks, the next song coming up is pretty short. Alright. Man, this Sprite is making me burp. I don't know if it was a good idea to drink Sprite during this, but so yeah, there we go. There's the outro to Nothing Else Matters. Very nice, very nice. Okay, now to change things up, to shake things up, we get track number 9. Track number 9. It's gonna start any second now. There we go. Of Man and Wolf. I mean, of Wolf and Man. It is 4 minutes and 16 seconds long. And it is written by James Hetfield, Lars Ulrich, and Kirk Hammett of Wolf and Man. So this is pretty cool. It's obviously about, you know, like wolves and like a man and stuff. It sounds like about werewolves or whatever, but pretty cool song. Good stuff, good stuff. Yeah, when I did my my videos, my fan commentary videos for The Simpsons movie and Halloween, I was eating popcorn and drinking pop. Sorry, I had a bit of a burp there. I had to edit out. My apologies. But anyways, when I was what was I saying? Well, yeah, when I did the commentary videos for Halloween and The Simpsons movie, I was eating popcorn and drinking pop, which gave me like so much phlegm. I had to constantly like clear my throat. But anyways, sorry, I'm getting all gross here. But anyways, you know, some people don't like the eating sounds and stuff like that. So for this video, it's gonna be like, should I be eating something? Because, you know, the eating, to be honest, it sort of fills in the awkward moments when I have nothing to say. But I know some people don't like it, so I just decided to have the pop, you know. But it is kind of making me burpy, so there's that. But anyways, I'll have to deal with it. Move swift. Alright, back to the meaning of life. Man, yeah, unlike with all these writing credits, I don't know how this stuff works, but, you know, with a band as, oh yeah, this is a cool solo. Another good solo on this album. Doesn't sound quite like any other Kirk Hammett solo. I mean, this part does, you know, certain parts do, but at least the way it starts off is different, you know. Kirk Hammett, anyways. That seems to be his strategy and what he does well. And this song was no exception. But was I saying something? I forget now. Doesn't really matter. Nothing else matters. Man and wolf. No, what was I saying? Yeah, I totally forgot. I lost my place in line. No, I got the lyrics wrong. But whatever. When I was a kid, not a kid, but teenager, whatever, first listening to heavy metal and stuff, I was so into it. Of course, I would read the lyrics as the song was playing, and I was so bad at figuring out what lyrics meant because I thought everything was like super cryptic. Like I thought you weren't supposed to understand, like, you know, something that is open to interpretation, which is true. All music is open to interpretation, but you know, sometimes it's pretty obvious, but I will look past that, like, no, it's gotta be about something deeper than that, you know what I mean? But anyways, alright, that's that song, pretty short song. Now we got track numero 10, and it is The Failed God, aka The God That Failed, at 5 minutes and 8 seconds. And it is by James Hetfield and Lars Ulrich. And yes, reading Lars' name reminded me of what I was saying before. Was with all these writing credits and stuff, I can imagine, you know, Metallica being such a big band, there's a lot of money to be made. So I can imagine, you know, in their recording studio, when they're not when they're recording, but when they're writing, you know, they seem to write together as a band, at least in the second half of their career. So they probably have like lawyers watching, and you know, they're like, oh, Lars hummed a melody or made a suggestion to James, so that counts as a writing credit or blah blah. Like, I don't know, how do they keep track of who writes what if they're just jamming when they're writing this stuff? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It must be a legal nightmare, but thankfully I don't have to deal with that. It's like, why, if you're coming up with a drum beat or a bass line, sorry, I thought I heard a noise. It was just outside. Not outside, but in the hallway. That was my dog for a second. He's in my room. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, if you come up with a bass line, okay, yeah, you're just pretty much, you know, the bass line will depend on the drums and the guitars and stuff like that, but still, I don't know, that's writing to me. Or like a solo you come up with. If you just write the solo for the song, shouldn't that be considered, you know, you wrote part of the song? I don't know how this stuff works, but it's weird to me. The whole music industry is, man, it's basically, anyways, I'm just happy I don't have to deal with those headaches. It's more of a legal industry than anything else. Thankfully today, people don't have to rely on recording studios and record labels and stuff to make and release music to the world. Anybody could do it with a little bit of knowledge and a little bit of pirated software. I mean, purchased software. So this song's kind of basic, but it's still good. I do remember this solo. Oh yeah, here we go. This is really cool. This is a cool solo. I like this solo a lot. I used to be able to play like the first 5 seconds up to like, I don't know, about now. Then I just give up. No, I could play this part too, it's not that hard. Maybe those bends I wasn't really good at, and that's where I just kind of give up. Love the way it ends too. It's cool. That's cool. Good stuff. Good stuff, Kirk. I really do think maybe this album's his best work. There we go. Now that's how you end a solo, my friends. is a promise, betrayal. So it's pretty good stuff, guys. I also remember something else I remember about this album is that, so you know that movie Army of Darkness. So when that movie came out, my friend was certain that Through the Never was in the soundtrack or in the movie or whatever. But I know that movie very well, and that song is not in there. But then after he's like, oh no, maybe it was just in the trailer or something. So maybe that's true, I don't know. Again, one of those things I should YouTube. I probably did in the past, but forgot if that was true or not. But that'd be pretty cool. That's a cool song to use in a trailer for a movie or a soundtrack or something like that. So some pretty deep lyrics in this song, for sure. Broken is a promise. Betrayal. Alright, so my neighbor's coming home again. They're doing something, making noise. I don't know, maybe they're listening to Metallica also and have their own mosh pit going on. Okay, so now we get to the longest song on the album, which is Misery is My Friend, but it's actually called My Friend of Misery. It is track 11. It is 6 minutes and 49 seconds, and it is written by James Hetfield, Lars Ulrich, and unbelievable Jason Newsted. So there you go. It's the only song that he contributed, I guess, from a writing perspective. And yeah, there's not even one song on here that the whole band worked on. So that's kind of, or wrote on, I guess I should say. Should always be at least one song that they all worked on together. I don't know, bro. And they wonder why Jason Newsted left the band. He only wrote one song, or contributed to one song on this album. No, I'm kidding. I don't know why he left. Well, I kind of know, but I can't remember if he wrote more on Load and Reload, and was he on? No, he wasn't on Saint Anger. But yeah, I think he left because he wanted to do side projects, and James didn't want him to. So he's like, screw it, I'm gonna go do my own thing. But it seems like they always have bad luck with bass players. But it is what it is. You're off to save the world. This part's cool. Misery. And the beginning of the song kind of sounds like it could be like it as a song in Doom, like the original Doom. It's not, but it sounds like it could be, because I know Doom, a lot of the songs, a lot of the music were like real metal songs or inspired by those songs or whatever. Stolen, whatever, however you want to say it. Like MIDI versions, I guess. I think there's Slayer, Pantera, Metallica, probably some other ones I can't remember. Was there an Alice in Chains song in there too? Maybe. I don't know. So yeah, this song is pretty kind of depressing. I mean, it's called My Friend of Misery, right? So, but it kind of switches up to being not depressing or kind of energetic or whatever. So it's cool. I like the song. Misery loves company. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, it's cool. That's good stuff. It's good. It's a good album to put on in your car in general. Like, I don't know why. Not too distracting. Gets you in the mood and the groove to drive. Except for maybe, like Nothing Else Matters or whatever. Maybe certain parts of the song kind of make you slow down and drive the speed limit, slow down your heart rate kind of thing. And then you got the swells or whatever. I'm guessing that's what that is. Then you get this clean part coming up. Not a solo, but a bridge or something. I don't know. Bridge too far. This part sounds like kind of something you would hear on a later Metallica album. Interesting. I really noticed that. But on a later Metallica album, this would be like the main part of the song or something like that. Again, not trying to dump on their later work. I still like it, but... Okay, we got this part. This kind of sounds like a James solo too, doesn't it? Maybe he did this solo too. But, I mean, it's not really a solo, so it's more like just a guitar melody harmony part. Oh yeah, that's definitely James. There's no doubt about it. That's totally his style. Kind of like his Hotel California style. Okay, yeah, now Kirk is gonna come up after this part. Man, I hope you're not hearing all these burps, but next time, no spray for me, just water. So that's interesting. A pretty long song, but it barely has any. Oh no, I think there's another solo coming up, if I'm not mistaken. My friend of misery. Dun, 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 dun. Oh yeah, here we go. Let's see. It's kind of like, you know, where there's a little bit of singing and a little bit of soloing at the same time kind of thing. Almost like doing trade-offs between vocals and solos kind of thing. Okay, there we go. Now we get a full-fledged solo. And it's just typical Kirk. Nothing special about this part, in my opinion. But this part's cool. I like the rhythm on this part. Pretty entertaining. Not the best solo, but again, entertaining enough to, you know, oh, this part's cool. I like that. But yeah, satisfying enough to enjoy the song and to be satisfied, I guess. I know I repeated myself, but dun 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 dun. Alright, so that was My Friend of Misery, and we've come to the last track of the album, number 12, which is The Snuggle Within. Just kidding, it's The Struggle Within. At 3 minutes and 53 seconds, which is the shortest on the album. Written by James Hetfield and Lars Ulrich, and it starts off really cool with this, like, I don't know, what do you call that? Like drummer boy drumming kind of thing. Like marching into battle or something. Marching into a civil war. Something like that. It's a really cool intro. The rest of the song, it's alright. Sounds very different, kind of, than the other songs on the album. Kind of reminds me of, in a way, I don't know why. What's the song he did for the Freddie Mercury tribute concert? The Queen song, what was it? Stone Cold Crazy, is that what it's called? Or is it called Don't Go Crazy? Don't Go Crazy. Or Stone Cold Crazy. I think it's Stone Cold Crazy. Anyways, whatever song that was, for some reason, part of this song reminds me of that. I don't know why. Or maybe I'm just crazy. But yeah, this song, it's okay. I remember the solo being pretty cool. Down here. Struggle. Wait, not yet. It's not this whole time yet. But yeah, this is the shortest track on the album, if I hadn't said that already. And yeah, so the longest track was 11 most of the solos on this album, so Snuggle. Okay, yeah, nothing terribly new from Kirk, but enjoyable. This part's cool, I like this. Right. Got some heavy wop happening here, which is okay. That part's cool too, I like this part. This is cool too. I like this riff. Remember not to headbang too much, because then my mic shakes and makes noise or whatever. So if you hear random shaking noises, that's what's going on. What the hell? You're gonna find. Yeah, I don't want to read the lyrics or nothing, because then I'm gonna get in trouble. Just like Metallica, they're doing some live thing on Twitter, or Twitch, I mean. They're doing a live performance, and then Twitch detected that they were playing copyrighted material, of course their own music, and they replaced it with like some 8-bit music or something like that. Pretty funny. Alright, so alright, so that is the end of the album. Great album, very enjoyable, very memorable. Kind of a timeless album in my opinion. But anyway, let me know what you think of the album. Let me know what you think of